That's a shame, that, the left turn. Hi guys, remember this Poundland engraver I bought for £1? Well, I've just been trying something that I didn't expect to work, and it's worked, and I'm annoyed because I wasn't filming it. I wondered if I could drill a hole through a glass bottle, and I have. In fact, so far I've done it twice. I just started off gently, made a hole, or made a mark, and kept working at it. It's probably taken me an hour to do those 2 holes, so I won't bore you by making you watch it. I also need 2 hands, but my technique was to move it around, as you can see I'm doing there. I'm not trying to just go straight in, I'm going around the edges. And I can't do it with one hand and the camera in the other. I also try to remember not to try and do that, wipe it off with my finger, because obviously that's glass dust. So I'm washing it off, which is why we're doing it in the sink. So yeah, I think I might carry on. My wife will get completely fed up with that noise. But yeah, I really didn't expect that to work. I just kept working away at it, doing this sort of around motion to keep the hole, well, to keep the hole open, and then washed it out every few seconds or every few minutes so it didn't get terribly hot. And yeah, managed to work my way all the way through. Plan is to make a rubber band powered wine bottle. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, to be honest. I don't know how on earth I'll be able to get the rubber band inside to connect up to the axles. I just don't think that's going to work, so what I might end up doing is putting a propeller on it instead, so it's rubber band going through it but powered by a propeller. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just try and work out how you would get the rubber band round the back axle and wind it up. Because well, people put ships in bottles, but they're a lot more experienced and clever than me. Right, that's better. We got 4 holes. Now I've got to find some axles that will go through. I managed to get a couple of bicycle spokes through there. Annoyingly, I haven't got those holes quite right. That one's up a little bit further, so it's not going to go in a straight line, it's going to curve. That is annoying, that, because it's not easy to adjust those holes now they're in there. never mind, we'll rig up some sort of propeller system to propel it along, and the wheels will have to freewheel on here. The axles aren't going to spin freely enough, I don't think. And they do spin, but they're not very free. I suppose I could spend time trying to open the holes up a little bit with that to make them spin freer. But say the easy answer is just have the wheels spinning on the axles. For simplicity, I've pinched this tube and propeller off one of my other projects and just held it in place with some rubber bands. Well, I don't know if it'll work, we'll find out. Right, that wasn't terribly successful, was it? That was a very short burst of power. Didn't really get a chance to get moving, did it? Because there's a fair bit of weight there. Once it gets moving, we'll have some momentum to keep it going. That little propeller just wasn't man enough. So I've pinched a bigger one off of one of my other projects, on a longer stick. Haven't been able to cure the left turn though, so I have to point it to the right a bit. Yeah, that's a shame that, the left turn. But that's built into the holes that I drilled in the glass. So that's not an easy fix. But it works-ish. Summary time. What have we got? A bit of fun, I think, is the best way to put it. It's not going to be a serious contender for distance or speed. It was really just me playing around with this Poundland engraving tool and found that I could actually drill holes through the glass bottle. It took a long time. Probably spent a couple of hours in total, although one of them only took me about 6 minutes. The others took a lot longer, so I think the one that was quick must have been a thinner piece of glass. The others certainly took much longer to get through. So what have we got? We've got a wine bottle. We've got 4 CDs. Each has got 2 bottle tops hot glued to them either side. We've got bicycle spokes for the axles going through the glass bottle. We've got beads as spacers, and also to reduce the friction, because the wheels are actually freewheeling on the axles. The axles don't turn. These are electrical connectors, just there to hold the wheels in place on the spokes. That's the well, I was going to say nuts. They're not really the nuts. They're the bits that hold the bicycle spoke to the hub of the bicycle, or the rim of the bicycle. So I left them on, and at the other end I've used the electrical connectors to hold it all together. The propeller, that came from one of those kits that I had on my charity shop finds. Can't remember what the kit was called, but I've just hot glued the propeller assembly onto the end of this wooden stick, and a paper clip on the other end, and a fair few rubber bands there, and it's just held in place with rubber bands around the wine bottle. And it does work, but because I didn't get my measurements quite right, the back axle is not parallel with the front axle, so it's got quite a curve on it when it goes along, and it won't be easy to try and correct that by... Normally I could just melt the holes bigger in the plastic bottles, but in a glass bottle like that I'd have to spend a fair bit of time grinding it out to get the angle right, and I'm not going to do that. It works, it's a bit of fun, and I think this is actually number 250 in my series, in my Putarubberbandonit channel. So yeah, we'll say I had a bottle of wine to celebrate 250. Job done.